Hi guys, it's great to present a, let's say, very innovative news platform, which we have launched just 3 months ago. And before we jump into this, I would like to talk to you about a couple of trends in the news publishing business. There are mainly 4 trends right now. It's mobile, mobile, mobile. It's platforms. It's personalization. And it's definitely for the future where to monetize. It's in mobile advertising. Let's have a look at some of those trends. Well, as you see, in all those countries we are looking at, UK, France, in the US and in Germany, the mobile usage of news has been jumped pretty heavily, almost doubled within the last 4 years. So people tend to get more and more on their devices to get news, not anymore in the desktop and by far not anymore in the classical media. So even 2/3 of the smartphone users get their news at least a couple of times per week, and they tend to use more apps than the mobile browser in the UK. So this is the first trend. The second trend, you remember in the music business 10, 15 years ago, the tracks of a whole album were debundled to be depublished on certain singular tracks. And this is happening in the news business in the same way. Whole newspapers, magazines are debundled and brought into platforms where the users are. So the idea of publishers is to be there where the user is, on Facebook, on Snapchat, on Twitter, on other platforms. The problem for the publisher, though, is that he doesn't get the traffic anymore, so he can't monetize it in the way he used to do so. But users love it. And what users love as well is personalization. They don't want to get the standard stuff anymore. They want to get only that what is personalized for them, what is their personal interest, what they choose to have. One guy wants to have music and sports. The other one wants to have business and finance. So the personalization is a big trend, and the New York Times is heavily working on it, and of course, Google as well. And the way how to make money is pretty nicely shown in this chart. As you see here, in print, they seem to have a problem because people are using print much more less than it is monetized right now. So you can expect that print budget in media might go down looking forward. In the TV, there's pressure as well, but whereas definitely a gap in monetization is in mobile, because people spend so much time on mobile, but the share is only around 10 to 12% of media budgets. So this is the future where people will invest a lot. So looking at all those 4 trends, mobile, publishing, personalization, and the opportunity to monetize via mobile advertising, brought us to the idea just 1.5 years ago to go to Korea. Why South Korea? South Korea is a country where mobile penetration is far beyond 90%. Smartphone penetration is even higher than 95% in the market. 4G is a standard wherever you go, whereas in Germany you can be happy to get 3G, a good connection in the cities, and in rural areas even less. So what Axel Springer did, they sent Kai Diekmann and myself. As some of you know, we have been spending 1 year in the Silicon Valley together 3 years ago. So 1.5 years ago, we were sent to South Korea to explore this business over there. And we very, very soon got contact to the Samsung team. Because what they have, we don't have. They have a huge presence in the market, being one of the leading smartphone providers in the world. In Europe, they have a market share of above 35%. In Germany, even above 40%. And on the other side, Axel Springer is a leading digital publisher in Europe with more than 100 million unique users. So what they can do, an excellence in technology and in engineering, we can provide with our journalistic excellence. So it's a sort of like 2 competencies going together in a complementary way. joining one idea. The idea to serve the customers of Samsung, as this is an exclusive deal for Samsung, with a new product, and this product is called upday. And before I sort of talk a little bit more about this, I want to show you a short video. So as you might have seen, upday is positioned directly on the homepage of the new Samsung smartphones. This is a great distribution opportunity to get a user experience integrated as a service and not rather integrated as one of, let's say, 100 or 200 apps on the phone. So what makes us really unique here is a combination of technology. The technology is an aggregator who gets a lot of media sources together to your personal desire. So whatever you select as a category you are interested in will be delivered to you. On top, the aggregator learns what you are really interested in. So there's an algorithm, there's a learning algorithm behind this machine which remembers what you are interested in and is serving the news to you what you like. But on top, we have for the so-called top news section, we have journalists in each of the countries we are operating in, and those select the news you really need to know. For example, if Putin has a heart attack or whatever, you directly need to know this, regardless if you are interested in automotive or in sports or in other subjects which you have selected before. So this combination makes it unique. No other aggregator, even not Apple News, is working like this in the combination. Second point, it's a publisher's platform. I was talking about Facebook, Snapchat, and so on. Facebook Instant Articles, they aggregate all the content on their side, so the publisher has a problem, doesn't get the traffic anymore. In this case, we drive the traffic to the publisher's side. So the publishers love us because we generate on the Samsung highway, we generate a lot of traffic for them. And last but not least, it's a fun product. It's easy to use. You saw it's a swiping experience. You get just one message on the screen, and it's not like you don't get overwhelmed by too much information. It's directly made for you. It's basically easy to use. So the first ratings within the last 3 months were great. We have far above 4 stars, so this is great. We have, within 6 weeks, generated more than 1 million unique users in those countries. And each of those users is spending per day more than 5 minutes. Doesn't sound so much for you, but on a mobile phone, 5 minutes a day is a great stickiness and is a great figure. And why is it like this? Because we aggregate so much content. In Europe, we have now more than 2,000 publishers aggregated in this product. So this is by far one of the biggest aggregators already we have built up. What are we doing here so differently from what we have been doing before? Marco just asked me how long I'm with Axel Springer. It's 15 years. Before I was a digital native coming from Yahoo. Then I learned all this print business. Now this is a digital company again. So we have been doing it very differently in the past. First point, mobile only. We would have never launched a product like 3 or 4 years ago for mobile only. Second point, from day one internationally, 4 countries out of one hand. Third point, it's the distribution part. It's a huge deal with Samsung. Yes, it's exclusively with Samsung, but rather be exclusive with one player who has 40% market share than to buy a lot of marketing downloads, very expensive. Rather be on the -1, integrated in each of the smartphones and get directly the users. Last point, it's a multi-brand user experience. So we don't have only Welt or only FAZ or only Spiegel, but we have 2,000 sources directly delivered to you at your interest and at your contents. So next steps. I know I have to rush now because Marco is already sitting here. Last chart, next steps. What will be the future? We expect to be integrated in about 10 million devices at the end of this year. And by this gaining a superb opportunity to starting to monetize it via advertising. So average every 10th of those cards will be advertising to the customers, of course targeted to their personal interests. And we want to be on more devices than only on smartphones. We are already integrated on the watches, tablets could be the case, and other devices. As you know, Samsung has a lot of opportunities to integrate content there going forward. And they have other countries as well. We are now in 4 countries. Europe has more, and the world has more than 4 countries. So we are looking ahead. If you would like to download it, you need a Samsung phone. So please, everybody changes now from Apple to Samsung and download the app under upday.com/app. And if you have any questions, please send an email. And we need a lot of engineers. Please apply to Peter at upday.com. Thank you very, very much.